Welcome to Stit's World Channel, a place of mystic revelations. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the diversity of habitats on our planet. From lush rainforests to barren deserts, the Earth is home to a myriad of ecosystems, each with its own unique beauty and challenges. When we consider life on Earth, we notice that different regions contain unique plants and animals that are adapted to local conditions. Scientists have attempted to group these regions into categories called habitats. A habitat is the natural environment where an animal, plant, or other organism lives. Factors like climate, geography, availability of water, and interactions with other plants and animals determine the number and types of organisms living in a habitat. A habitat can be as large as a continent or as small as a cell. While there are different opinions about the total number of habitats, NASA lists 16 major habitats, and some textbooks only list 6. Here we will define 8 habitats. These habitats are polar, tundra, evergreen forests, seasonal forests, grasslands, deserts, tropical rainforests, oceans. To better understand a habitat, we will look at how energy flows through it, starting with its plants, producers, and moving to the animals that eat the plants, consumers, and in some cases the animals that eat those plant eaters, secondary consumers. The relation dash. Ships between these producers, consumers, and secondary consumers reveal the ways organisms are adapted to their habitats. Polar habitats are extremely cold. Forming at the highest latitudes on Earth, they receive very little energy from the sun in the summer and virtually none in the winter. The main difference between the North and South Pole is the presence of land and water. The South Pole is land surrounded by sea, the North Pole is a sea surrounded by land. In the South Pole, enormous colonies of penguins can be found on the coasts, and leopard seals and whales can be found just offshore. These animals eat fish and abundant small crustaceans called krill. Krill eat mostly plankton, small microscopic plants living in the cold nutrient-rich waters. At the North Pole, plankton are eaten by small fish and crustaceans, which are then eaten by larger predators like narwhals and polar bears. Tundra is the part of the polar habitat that is on land and not covered in ice, found mostly in the north. The tundra looks snowy and lifeless in winter, but in the summer months the snow melts and reveals grassy meadows and small quick-growing shrubs. The growing season is too short for trees. Reindeer and wolves are just two of the animals that call the tundra home. Evergreen forests are just outside the North Pole and encircle it, stretching all the way across Canada and northern Europe and Russia. There are more trees in this habitat than in any other, mostly conifers adapted to survive the extreme cold winters. Their needle leaves don't lose water to the dry winter air like a big flat leaf, and they contain thick resin that prevents the tree from freezing. Conifers are almost inedible to many animals, which must eat the seeds produced by pine cones, or eat grasses and soft leaves available only in the warm summer months. Animals like the snowshoe hare survive the winters by burrowing underground and eating soft stems, while the Canada lynx, part of the cat family, eat the hare. Seasonal forests can be found around the world wherever we see conditions that are not extremely cold, dry, or wet. Some of the trees in these regions are conifers, but most are deciduous trees that grow broad, flat, sun-catching leaves that must be dropped every winter to protect the tree from drying out. Due to the extremely variable nature of weather conditions, plants and animals need to be able to survive in warm and cold conditions. Deciduous leaves are great food sources for large mammals, and deer are common. Owls are one of the top predators and eat a wide variety of prey ranging from fish, frogs, mice, rabbits, insects, snakes, and even other smaller birds. Grasslands grow under conditions that are warm enough to support plant life, but too dry for trees, and not so dry that a desert forms. The important parts of The grass plants are below the soil surface, which protects all but the grass stems from excessive conditions of heat, cold or dryness. Grasslands survive massive fires and severe grazing from large herds of grassland animals like bison in North America and wild horses in Asia. Grasslands support the largest collections of mammals on Earth in places like the African savanna, and in turn, the herds support the largest land predators on Earth like lions, hyenas, and crocodiles. Deserts form in the driest places on Earth, although many of them are hot like the Sahara or the Atacama. They don't have to be. Cold dry places are also deserts, such as the Gobi Desert in western China and Antarctica. Water is absolutely essential to life as we know it. The plants and animals that survive in these places need to be able to get by on minimal quantities of liquid water. The plants best adapted to deserts are succulents, including cacti like the saguaro, which have extensive roots branching out in all directions close to the surface. When it rains, perhaps only once a year or so, the roots absorb tons of water into the plant, which allows it to survive until the next rain. Animals must be equally careful in how they ration water. Some insects get all the water they need by eating the wet tissues of plants, and many desert animals like the fennec fox are only active at night when the air is less dry and temperatures are less extreme. Reptiles like sidewinder snakes are well adapted to these habitats due to their scaly skin, which has excellent water retention abilities. Tropical rainforests have the perfect conditions to support plants on land. They are warm, bright, and wet. They form near the equator, where sunlight is most plentiful on Earth, and only in places that receive regular, almost daily rains. The largest continuous rainforest is the Amazon in South America. The Congo rainforest in sub-Saharan Africa is also quite large. There are rainforests on the islands in the Indo-Pacific, such as Borneo, New Guinea, and Indonesia. These forests are the most biologically diverse places on the planet. The plants grow so thick that very little light reaches the ground surface, so plants must compete for their share of canopy space. Soft leaves and fruit can be found in the trees by herbivores and predators. No tree canopies are the best place to find prey. Many animals have found ways to travel from one treetop to the next without having to travel across the ground by swinging, jumping, flying, or gliding, as is the case for the flying lemur. Oceans cover most of the surface of the Earth and are the largest habitat due to their depth. Plants growing in the surface waters of the world's oceans have plenty of sunlight and unlimited water, but their growth is limited by mineral availability. Sea grasses and weeds grow in shallow waters rooted to the seabed, but free swimming microscopic algae and plankton make up the vast majority of biomass in the ocean. Many herbivorous animals in the ocean can filter feed on these microscopic plants. Predators swim the oceans in search of prey that often has no place to hide, and must form massive schools for protection. Some species can be found only in certain locations, like near coasts or in deep waters. Others are so well adapted that they can be found in almost every ocean environment, like the starfish. Sub-habitat of ocean shallow seas. Shallow and coastal waters tend to support more species of plants that need to root in the seabed but still receive sunlight. The water in shallow regions tends to have more nutrients suspended in the water, which promotes the growth of plants, and animals can more easily find shelter and food in these rich ecosystems. Sub-habitat of ocean coral reefs. Coral reefs are habitats that can be found in warm tropical waters. They are like the rainforests of the sea and support more biodiversity than the rest of the ocean, despite being a very small and rare habitat. Coral reefs are supported by a symbiotic relationship between coral animals and microscopic algae that live inside them. The algae supply the coral with energy, and the coral provide a safe environment for the algae and a complex network of reef structures in which other species can hide and find shelter. Ecology. Each of these habitats is interconnected, and each of the plant and animal species living within them depends on and influences the others. These are complex communities that often defy any classification, and attempts to make a short list of habitats is bound to be an oversimplification. For example, seasonal forest habitat can be thought of as a collection of smaller habitats like streams, forests, and fields. In the depths of the ocean, vibrant coral reefs teem with colorful marine life, while the African savanna pulsates with the rhythm of the wildebeest migration. From the icy expanses of the Arctic to the steamy jungles of the Amazon, our planet showcases a kaleidoscope of habitats that support a staggering array of species, but this diversity is under threat. Human activities, such as deforestation, pollution, and climate change, are putting immense pressure on these fragile ecosystems. It's up to us to protect and preserve the habitats that sustain life on Earth. Fortunately, there is hope. Conservationists around the world are working tirelessly to restore and rehabilitate damaged habitats, ensuring a future where both people and wildlife can thrive together. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the diversity of habitats on our planet. We hope you've been inspired to cherish and protect the natural wonders that surround us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our channel for more powerful and mind-blowing videos that will reveal the complexities and mysteries of our beloved planet Earth. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.